everyone. Thank you for joining us at Build today. I'm your host, Brittany Jones Cooper. And Joan Smalls is an international model who has strutted on catwalks around the world, danced in a Beyonce video, I mean, how cool is that? And was the first Latina model to represent Estee Lauder Cosmetics. But now she's taking on a new challenge, acting, with a role in the upcoming Netflix rom-com, Set It Up. Let's check out a clip.
I've always wanted to eat here. This is where came through Kanye's half birthday party.
Our best table.
This is exciting. Oh my God. This is the best meal I've ever had.
The best meal I ever had was a $5 pizza thrown up a fire escape.
What?
This sucks. This whole place sucks. It smells weird. It's far too quiet. And, I mean, this steak is delicious. It is not worth $70.
You sound insane. Just eat your steak.
Everyone put your hands together for Joan Smalls.
Hi, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. How's your day going? Good?
Yes, quite exciting. It's off to a good start.
Yeah, so this is Set It Up. I got to watch the movie this weekend, a little sneak preview.
Ooh, nice.
And I love a good rom-com. I mean, it has everything that you would expect from it. Have you gotten to view it or screen it?
Yes, I did a couple months back, and it was just so refreshing and relieving to just have a film that you actually enjoy, and it's lighthearted. It's so well written, and you just like leave the theater like, oh, this is, haven't seen one of these films in such a long time when you actually enjoy it. I mean, the cast is insane. So yeah, it was just a great experience overall.
Yeah, for sure. And we were talking backstage. I didn't realize this was your first movie.
Yes, it is.
So what does that feel like? Is that very surreal?
Yeah, it like modeling, you know, you're always, you know, behind the camera and in front of the camera, and you know, you do commercials and you do different things, but here it's more of you that you have to bring, and you know, the acting and speaking and making it feel real and have that real connection, which was it was just great to do. Like, I was always looking forward every day to go to set.
Oh, that's awesome. And how did you prepare then for the role?
The role was quite similar to like my everyday life, which is a model. And it just took me back on, you know, being in a relationship and just trying to make it work. So it was quite easy. And Glenn is just the perfect boyfriend on scene, and it just made it super easy and very natural, which was like a little bit frightening, because you're like, wow, this feels good. Like, oh, wow, you know? So it was a lot of that every day.
Yeah, his character is very doting and wants to keep Suze happy. And so I can imagine, like, you're playing that role and you're like, actually, you'd be a really good boyfriend.
I'm like, you're so nice.
Yeah. Were you nervous going in that first day? Because I don't even want to ever act. I feel like I would just be terrified. So what was your feeling going in, and how did you sort of deal with that?
I was absolutely nervous, and I remember just having like a bunch of butterflies and like just not knowing what to expect. And then when they would say, okay, we're doing rehearsal, I'm like, okay, rehearsal of what? What are we doing? What am I supposed to do? And it's like, you have to learn really quickly. And but it was just exciting. I was just so happy to be there and have like a break in between working and doing this and fitting it in. And it was such a great learning curve. Yeah, it felt natural, which was weird. I was like, it felt like I was meant to be there.
So what made you want to take this new leap and try acting?
Growing up, I always loved watching films and just dissecting films and getting into, I study psychology, so I would always break down films and like the human psyche and how people think and why is it and the emotion that it brings in someone. So I would always watch films that were like super dark and thrillers, and I was like, I just want to be a part of that. You know, I didn't just want to be the audience. I wanted to be in it and like live it and just be emotional. So that's what made me want to venture off. And modeling, I feel like, was a stepping stone because you kind of have to act behind the camera without movement, and you have to evoke that emotion through an editorial, a campaign, or a commercial. You know, there is some thought because you have to become this character because you know they dress you up and they're like, okay, be this, and it was just an evolution of that to now actually speaking.
I'm actually having this revelation right now of the like psychology and how it ties to modeling and acting. It really does. So when I first read that you majored in psychology, I was like, well, how did that translate into? But it totally makes sense when you say it like that. You really sort of have to access these different characters inside yourself, and that's fun. You love doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I just love everything about emotion, from the highs to the lows to the in-betweens, and I feel like that's what makes us human and interesting. So yeah, and it's entertaining at the same time. Like everybody loves a good laugh, a good cry. I love crying on the planes. I don't know why, if it's like the altitude or whatever, but I just love a good film that sucks me into it.
I think there's a study on why people cry on planes.
Oh, there must be.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I watched, I think it was A Fault in Our Stars.
Yes.
I was like inconsolable, and I would not be like that on the ground.
I watched Frozen, and I was inconsolable because I have two sisters. I mean, I don't know if I'm ruining the movie for anybody, but I have two sisters, and that one scene where, like, you know, that's the true love, is like a sister love. I just started crying, and it's not a pretty cry. It's like that ugly cry. And then the flight attendant comes. She's like, "Do you want anything?" I'm like, "Oh, just yeah.
Don't look at me.
It's a moment. It's a moment." So yeah. I love that.
I think then your next role should be one that's dramatic then, so you can access that.
Really, yeah, I can access it pretty quickly because I'm a Cancerian, so I'm very emotional and moody at times. So it's quite easy. You know, I feel like everybody has pain, and is just, are we willing to tap into it and use it to our advantage, or is it something that we kind of like mask and hide away from it? Because we don't want to show that vulnerability, and I feel like I'm comfortable in that space.
So back to Suze. Tell us about your character and set it up. You said she's like a model.
Yes.
But there's more to her a little bit.
Absolutely. You know, I feel like it was done in such a perfect, you know, place, New York City. You know, everything is going on at the same time, super fast. So like having Suze there and like being a part of this scene and this lifestyle, and Charlie just like being into it and just trying to make something work that you just know it might not. Are you pushing it? And it just like reflects what New York City is. And, you know, I think we all know what that feels like. In an exciting city where you want to make it. And everybody says if you make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And it's kind of like there's so many backdrops about that. And the fact that you come to New York City and you want to make something out of yourself. And you see that with the assistants. And, you know, Susie's like a mix in that.
I think we have a perfect clip of how her ambition is maybe getting in the way of her relationship. If we can throw to that really quick.
Okay.
I thought we were getting lunch.
Excuse me, are those two seats taken?
Yeah, I'm sorry they're taken. I know, we were...
Just Rick need me to save his seats. I mean, son's the second lead. I thought we could do like a theater picnic. Yeah, you look amazing. How'd the thing go this morning?
It was good. I booked that Old Navy campaign.
That is incredible.
Look, I'm gonna be traveling so much, and you're already so busy.
I'm not busy.
I don't want to be with the guy saving somebody else's seats. I want the guy whose seats are being saved, you know?
I do know. I think any girl that's dating in the city, it's like, yeah, come on, I get it. So you played this role. It's your first one. What's next for you in the acting world? What is maybe like a dream role that you would love to tackle?
A dream role. As I said, it would be something that like dives into, you know, like a thriller or a suspense, something that's like psychological and makes you think. And that just goes there with the emotion. I mean, also an action film, I just feel like every woman wants to kick ass. So the fact that I do like Muay Thai kickboxing and like I boxed when I was in college, it's kind of like I want to tie that into, it's like you learn all these things during your life. I'm like, okay, now I can put it to use because it's not like I'm going to go beat up somebody, walking down the street, but it'd be good to actually, use that.
So yeah, I can see your next role being something very scary or something very physical.
Yes, it has to be like
an extreme
to something.
Well, Joan, you're obviously known for your amazing portfolio of modeling work. When did you start modeling? Like back in 2007?
I don't know. I moved to New York like when I was like 19 okay. Turning 20. Yeah, after I graduated.
So you've walked on catwalks around the world. You've been on the cover of some of the top magazines, Vogue, etc. Looking at your body of work, are you ever just like, wow?
Yeah, I tend to forget because everything moves at such a fast pace, and my schedule changes like 3 times within a month, and I never know where I'm going to be, and sometimes I'm in 4 countries in 1 week, and sometimes I'll fly in, work as soon as I fly in, fly out, to then work at the next place. So it's kind of like very go, go, go. So a lot of the times I forget the things that I've done or like the barriers that I've broke or the people I've worked with until I see the image and I'm like, oh my God, I really did do that. And, you kind of like reminisce like, wow, I've come a long way, especially coming from a small island like Puerto Rico and, not being viewed as, attractive in your own hometown. Like, it just shows that if you have ambition and determination, you can actually, like, make it once you go hard and just do it.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, and I read that you said growing up you felt too tall, too skinny, too dark in Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. And now you're on the cover of all these magazines. So what advice do you have for young girls about pursuing modeling if it's something they're really passionate about?
Mm-hmm. I always say you always need a good family or friend support, just a good backdrop to why you do it and to keep you focused at the same time, because I feel like a lot of things are coming your way very fast without realizing. So if you have a good stepping stone, that actually helps, and to just follow your dream, but also know when you should evolve into something else if it's not working out, because not everybody's going to have the same career or the same path and journey in modeling, and it can be harder for some. I was modeling for maybe 3 years before I started doing like the more important like runways and being on the covers. I was still around, but I never had like that opportunity until somebody believed in me. And I feel like if you have that person that's super supportive, to always keep them close to you, because that, goes a long way in this industry, to always have like a core.
Absolutely. A good foundation, I think, works across the board, definitely.
Completely.
And you've obviously modeled for Victoria's Secret, but now you're taking matters into your own hands. Yes. You've launched your own swimwear line, right, called Smart and Sexy, yes, which is what we see displayed here behind you. So what made you want to get into swimwear?
What made me get into swimwear? Well, the fact that I'm in fashion, it just came naturally. I had worked with Smart and Sexy before I did a campaign, and I just love the brand and what they stood for, and it's run by women. And she understands not every woman has the same body type. So it ranges from 32B to 40 triple D. And I grew up in a household where we all have different body shapes. Like my mom is a double D, and she always found it frustrating to find something that was flattering and that she liked, that was stylish. So me having the background in fashion and being behind the scenes with like haute couture, knowing how something is supposed to fit, what's the perfect fabric for a cut, because that actually makes a difference, it just came really natural to me. And I'm an island girl, so of course swimwear is there. And I just wanted to mix it up to, give you something that's stylish, also classic, something fun and funky, and that represents me, because I'm like sporty, classic, crazy. Like there's something for everybody, and that's what I was trying to attain. But also for different women's sizes. I think that's really important, because women should always feel beautiful regardless of shape, size, color, you know, wherever. So that was
Snaps of that. So when you go in, how does this process even work? Like, were you in with the designs? Did you help pick the fabrics? Like, where is your mark with the swimwear line?
Basically, all of it. It starts with the mood boards. It starts with red carpets that I've done. It starts with, like, you know, even an Instagram picture that I posted from a color that I like. And it's basically just capturing a little bit about yourself. You know, like, let's say the neon. I'm like, that's so old school. And I always feel like old school always comes back, and it's super cool. And mix matching, because sometimes I know when I travel, I don't want to pack a lot. Like, I want a carry-on. But sometimes you need the options of, okay, I need a top that I can use as a shirt while I'm out and about. And then I could use it in the, you know, in the beach. And just something that's like super, super fun. So when I was picking out the fabrics, I just wanted to reflect that.
And one of the coolest parts is that this line is super affordable.
Extremely,
I think the swimwear ranges from like $10 to $30 or something like that.
10 to 30.
It's at Walmart, guys.
Walmart and Smart and Sexy. So you know, you don't have. It could be affordable and still have a good quality. And I think that's what was important. So when we were looking at the fabrics, it had to feel, you know, like something. So yeah.
Which one's your favorite?
All of them. You can't. That's like asking a mother who's her favorite child. Like, you just can't do that. I would say probably the sequence one, because it's very reflective, and especially when you go to the beach, like, it's like the sand, and I love a monotone but still with a little sparkle. So I would say that's my favorite.
Well, first of all, I am my mother's favorite, so I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Just for the record, I love that middle one, especially. I had to get up and look at it. The mesh on the side is so cool, and then the racer back.
Because it also gives you the illusion of having a more like curvy and like a waistline. So that's, you know, it's also about visual. It's not also about, you know.
You look great in it.
Yeah, there's black and turquoise as well. So we wanted to go with really bold colors.
And so this is one part of what you're doing with Smart and Sexy, but there's also an Intimates line coming out, right? I think in July.
Yes, in July, the Intimates line is coming out, and we are going to Essence Festival to kind of like debut it and just, you know, be more interactive with people. And the same, it's super affordable, and it's very different. We have like neon colors, so like back in summer, and like if you want to show, you know, a strap, and then the classic blacks and the nudes. So there's a little bit for everybody.
So you're acting, you're modeling, now you're designing, you're like a little businesswoman.
That's the whole plan.
Why is it important for you to just show how multifaceted Joan is?
I feel like as a woman, there's so many sides to you, and you always need to explore them and expand on them, and to make the most, and just, you know, to set your mark in the world, not just as one thing. I feel like that's part of, you know, human growth, and, you know, just trying to be good, trying to like set a mark.
I'm curious who you look to for inspiration.
I would say people and just women, like just walking down the streets of New York City. The one thing that New York was always captivating coming from Puerto Rico is people's confidence. You know, like you walk down the street and you see somebody wearing something and you're like, whoa, and they wear it with such like power and like conviction. I'm like, yes, you do that. Like it just makes me feel so happy, and I actually smile when I see these people, and you know, you kind of like just want to embrace that. So that's the energy and where I get the inspiration from.
I love that. That's one of my favorite things about living here is the people watching.
People watching
all
is just,
day. It's amazing. Well, now I think is a good time to open up to the audience. I know they have some questions for you.
Hi.
Hello.
So since you started acting, what were maybe some of the initial challenges or advice you got when you took on this role?
The initial challenges, I would say preparing and actually studying outside of just what's given to you. So having an acting coach and just going outside of your comfort zone, which I think for many is very scary, including myself. Just going inside a room with people who you don't know and not feeling completely confident in your craft yet because it's something new. And I would say that was the biggest challenge I had. And just sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and just just go for it and just do it, because that's the only way you'll actually know.
One more question.
Hi.
Hi.
We're going to take a question from an online viewer. Haley would like to know, if you could design a swimsuit for anyone, who would it be and what would it look like?
Ooh, for anyone?
That's a good one. You know who I would choose?
Who?
Michelle Obama. Right? Because she loves the beach. They love to go to
and
Hawaii.
she has an amazing body, and that skin is just so perfect. Like, she's just like glowing from every angle. Yeah, I would choose her. And what would I design? I would probably design something red. I think that's such a beautiful color. And it has to be a swimwear? Or anything. Yes. Probably something with a low back, because I feel like the back of a woman is so sexy without showing too much. And then probably like a short dress, but like red. Yeah. I don't know why I love a red dress. It's a classic beauty.
Who doesn't love a red
Thank you.
dress? And who doesn't feel sexy and confident in a red dress?
And a red, because it's like that song, Lady in Red, and
Yeah.
you just see them. And
There you go. You're set up for
feeling it.
success. Well, Joan, it was really great chatting with you today. If you guys want to check out our swimwear line, it's available now at Walmart. And of course, be sure to tune in to Set It Up. Debuts on Netflix on June 15th. Give it up for Joan.
Thank you.